Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we're taking yet another look at the Asus Chromebox because a viewer, Dana Law, wrote in and was curious about its media playback capabilities. Is it a good device to use as a home theater PC replacement? And I've played around with it a little bit today, and I would say, it's not all that great. But you can run some stuff that I know a lot of you like to look at. But let's go through a few scenarios so you can see how it might function. So basically, I'm going to just kind of keep it projected on my screen here to prevent any copyright issues as we go. But I do want to pull up the full screen right now for the first demo, which is some of my own media, which I'm not going to claim copyright on myself with. And the way you would do that, I've got it right now loaded up on an SD card. And what I've put on here is a movie from my iPhone and from my digital SLR camera. So we'll start there. And what I'm going to do is just go over to the corner of the screen here and pull up the Files application. And what that will do is allow me to browse the file system of the device. And what you'll see here on the side is that we have the Nikon D100 card showing up. And I'm just going to run over to my demo folder here, and the top one is from my iPhone. I just copied these files onto the card. And the bottom one is from my Nikon SLR. Now if I click on this, nothing happens. And the reason is that it doesn't really know what to do with that file. So that's a problem right off the bat. So we're going to not be able to play back the stuff that we recorded with our camera initially, but we can maybe try the iPhone video. So I'm going to click on that one now, and what you'll see here is it's upside down, probably because it doesn't read the orientation data properly from the iPhone and how it recorded it. So we'll have to do some work on this video to get it to play. So that's an example of a couple of things just from my own playing around with it. But if we go over to something like Netflix, the good news with Netflix is that it does function pretty well as a Netflix player. Google did ask me to give it some authority to authenticate the validity of the device. So there was something that it asked for to be able to play the stuff back for copy protection purposes, but you can run it full screen, and it runs pretty much as nicely as it would on a mid to low end PC. So no concerns there. I was also able to go over to Comedy Central and boot up just an episode of Colbert. I think this might be an older one. And just play something back there, and again I can go full screen with it as well. It looks okay. It'll stream up to the full, the HD resolution when the site allows it. So if you're into watching TV shows that don't let you stream on anything except their website, you plug it into your TV and you're good to go with it. So it could probably do okay there. Now one thing that's really important to point out is that this will not output Dolby Digital surround sound. So if you're trying to hook it up to a home theater where you're getting DTS or Dolby Digital sound, you're not going to get there with this. It just doesn't support that. It just goes over as PCM audio, and you really can't get the whole home theater experience out of it. Now one other thing I tried to do though, which did actually work fairly well, was installing the Plex app in Chrome. So I did that. Actually, I did it on my desktop computer, and it just shows up here. And that's the one problem with this Google thing, is that there might be apps that you want to use on your Chromebox only, but they also just pop up on all of your other Chrome browsers. So anything you put on one is going to show up across the board on your account. So just be aware of that. But my Plex server loaded up just fine, and I can go in and play some stuff that I had recorded from my DVR. So I had recorded The Deadliest Catch here, and that seems to work pretty well. And again, that's because I have a PC set up as a server that's doing some transcoding on this, and it works fine. But again, you don't get the Dolby Digital audio. So it can function as a media player. However, I have seen there was another file that I tried. I had an open source documentary that I had downloaded that had AC3 audio embedded in it, and it could play the video but not the sound. So there's a lot of these little gotchas that you're going to come into play with. Plex seems to be a good solution though, so that if you don't need the Dolby Digital surround sound but do want to play back whatever you can possibly play back on it, running it through Plex first would certainly do the trick, although you'll need another computer to serve as the Plex server, although we could try maybe getting it to work on the Linux side of this, and that might be one solution to the problem. I tried Blu Ray MKVs using VLC in the Linux mode. No go. I couldn't get anything to work there either. So my advice to Dana would be, this is probably not going to do it for you as a home theater device. But what I would suggest is, because now Dana has an existing home theater PC hooked up to his television. So what I would suggest doing is using that home theater PC, put it aside, maybe take it out of the room completely, hook it up to your network, use that as a Plex server, and then go out and get the Roku 3. And I did a whole big video on the Roku streaming stick and the Roku 3. I still think that's probably the best inexpensive way to interface any movie file you can think of to your home theater system perfectly. In fact, it plays the Blu Ray MKVs just wonderfully, passes along the DTS and the Dolby Digital audio perfectly. It works great with Plex. It is just a fantastic platform, and I absolutely highly recommend it. And you can use that home theater PC, or you could get like a WD MyCloud or some other network attached storage device that has DLNA capabilities and run those Blu-ray files directly from the hard drive to the Roku too. So there's a lot of neat things you could do with that. So bottom line is, I don't think this works very well as a home theater PC as it's configured. There probably is a way that you can shoehorn Windows and do more with Linux on it than we've done in our prior videos, but I just don't think it's worth the effort. I think there's a lot of less expensive and easier options out there to get it working. If you do get it working with Windows or Linux or do something more than I've done, happy to feature you on the channel. We can do a little interview or something, but I think for most people it's probably easier and probably less expensive to go the Roku route or something else like that. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.